Nigeria's new tax law stirred public debates with Nigerians questioning its impact on businesses and also government revenue. All of this we will be looking at on Guardian Talks right now. And we are going to be doing this alongside our financial analyst in the person of Mr. Ogunleye. This is Guardian Talks with Temitayo Olumofe. Stick around. Like we all know that since January 1st, the beginning of this year, 2026, the federal government has already implemented the new tax law, right? And to begin with, what's your reaction about this Nigeria's new tax law? What's regarding the reaction so far? Do you think the public really understand the intent of this new tax law, or there is a communication gap from the government? Federal government to be precise.
Thank you very much. I think guys, wide gulf in the information passed from the government side to the general populace. The populace have not been well informed on the new tax act. I think the Federal Ministry of Information and all other information agencies, including you, the journalists, should assist the government by informing Nigerians, the Nigerians in diaspora, and companies, organizations doing business with and in Nigeria of so many relevant sections in the Nigerian Tax Act. Basically, there are 4 acts. So it's like a lot of us are focusing on one of the acts. The president signed 4 acts into law in June 2025. The first one is the Nigeria Tax Act. The second one is the Nigeria Tax Administration Act. The third one is the Nigeria Revenue Service Establishment Act. That act successfully rebranded the Nigerian Revenue, the Federal Inland Revenue Services, to Nigerian Revenue Service. Then the fourth, but definitely not the least, is the Joint Revenue Board Establishment Act. It replaces the old Joint Tax Board Act. So these are the 4 laws signed into law June 26, 2025 by the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Tinubu.
Okay. How equitable is this new tax law framework, especially for middle income earners who feel caught between exemptions for low income earners and also these rising tax obligations?
Thank you very much. I think, like you rightly mentioned, effective 1st January 2026,
Yeah.
the laws, the tax laws or the bills comes into operation. And basically, is to unify in a progressive way over 70 fragmented taxes and simplify them for operations by the Nigerian Revenue Services. What we notice in the new tax laws or the tax act is that it is progressive in nature. It favors the low and medium income earners, those on the personal level and the corporate organizations. It's seated heavily on the high income earners and businesses that are doing a lot of financial operations in Nigeria. For example, on the personal level, do you know that hitherto my personal income tax used to be between monthly used to be between 300, 340, 350. Now my personal income tax will be close to monthly, it will be close to 600,000 naira. Can you imagine? Part of the reforms of the new tax law is that if you are earning below 800,000 naira annually, you pay no tax. You don't going to pay any tax. Can you imagine? What it means is that you are earning below the national minimum income. The minimum wage monthly is 70,000. So if we multiply 70 by 12, what you have is 840. So effectively, if you're earning 800,000 below, it's like you're earning less than 70,000. So the government has deemed it fit not to tax. So if you're earning 800,000, so it means if you're earning the minimum wage, that's 840,000. Your tax annually will be monthly will be like 6,000 naira. No, annually you're only going to be taxed on 40,000. That is the difference between 800,000 and 840. Let me repeat that again.
Right.
If you're earning the minimum wage, that is 840,000 annually. It means your taxable income is just 40,000. That's the 40,000 that is in excess of 800,000. So your annual tax will be like 6,000, which is like 500 naira in a month. You could see it favors the low and middle income earner. And on like that, until when you get to 50 million naira and above annually, and you pay as high as 25%. So you see, that's one of the reasons why you have a lot of issues on social media. A lot of the rich men in Nigeria are complaining because that's the voices you are hearing. Any low income and middle income earner in Nigeria who complain about this tax definitely do not know the component, what is the tax laws are.
Okay, so let's look at the use of national identification number, that's our NIN, as tax identification number, which is it seems like a major shift here. So how will this affect compliance, data privacy, and also in the informal sector?
Thank you very much. Nigeria currently have what we call tax to GDP ratio of 13.5%. And the government by 2030 have said they want the tax to GDP ratio to be up to 40%. And what is the most, or the components rather, identification you can have from a Nigerian now? There are three acceptable identification in Nigeria: the driver's license, the international passport, and the NIN number. So which one do you think is most common? How many Nigerians have international passport?
Right.
How many Nigerians have driver's license? So the easiest one, the commonest, is the NIN number. That is how you can bring a lot of people into the tax net.
Okay. What are just in 1 minute, sir, what practical steps should individuals, businesses take to stay compliant under this new tax law and they can also avoid penalties?
Thank you very much. This question is very good. Let me give you an analogy. If you are ill, you have issues with your health, you go to see a medical doctor, a pharmacist, or a nurse, or any medical personnel. If you have issues with the law, go to see a lawyer. So if you have issues with tax laws, financing, money issues, go and see a tax consultant, a financial analyst, who can break these things down into pieces for you, who can let you know the allowances you can claim, the penalties that are inherent in those laws, and all other issues that you need to comply with. There's so many misinformation out there on social media, on print and electronic media, and I'm glad your organization is doing this. At least this is a way to inform people of the components of the tax laws. So what I will advise, like I've said, is for each and every one, every taxable person or taxable adult to get close or to visit his financial consultant or a tax person.
Thank you, Mr. Ogunleye, a financial expert. Thank you for your insight on this Nigeria's new tax law and what it means literally to Nigerians. And I hope we keep sensitizing Nigerians to know more about this new tax law, because you said people are already focusing on just one aspect of the new tax law, and then they can also look into the other three aspects so that they can have full knowledge about this new tax law implementation. Thank you, sir, once again for your time with Guardian.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
Yeah, you too, sir. Thank you.